Hello friends, through this video I am going to talk about Rashi Tulya Navamsha, which is a very widely used technique in south of India and it is not commonly used in North India. In Shri C.S. Patel's books, it has been talked about and written about, and you will also find the description of Rashi Tulya Navamsha in Dhruv Nadi books. So friends, what is this technique about and how it has to be used and understood? I will talk about this through this video, and why it becomes so important to use the Navamsha chart in the Rashi Tulya Navamsha technique. I'll just tell you. Friends, in the Shad Vargas, that is in the 6 divisional charts which are very importantly used in the calculation of Shad Bala, these 6 divisional charts are the D1 chart, that is the Rashi chart, your D9 chart, that is the Navamsha chart, your D3 chart, that is the Drekena chart, your D2 chart, that is your Hora chart, and your D12 chart, that is your Vyadamsha chart, and then your D30 chart, that is your Trimshamsha chart. So these 6 charts are very important. The Rashi charts are getting 6 points. The Navamsha chart is the second most important after the Rashi chart. It gets 5 points. The Dreshkona chart or the Drekena chart gets 4 points. The D2 and the D12 charts, they are getting 2 points each, and the D30 chart is getting 1 point each. So see, from here you can imagine that these 2 charts are the most important charts and they are used in the evaluation of any Graha Dasha or any planetary period that we have to know how it will go. So here you can tell things with surety and confidence, because here the possibility of error is very less, because it is a very technical technique, and you can tell things with lots of surety if you know about this. So what is this all about? See, we all know about the Vargotami planets, that when a planet goes to the same sign in the D9 chart, in the Navamsha chart, we will say that the planet is having lots of strength, it is Vargotami, and it will give you very good results of its placement and of its lordships. To wherever it is holding the lordship of, it is going to give you very good results, and wherever it is sitting, it will give you good results. That we all know about the Vargotami planets. But what happens if a planet moves to the second place from itself as per the Navamsha? Suppose, just for an example, if a planet is in the, say, Scorpio sign, and the same planet goes to the Sagittarius sign in the D9 chart, then what we are going to do is we are going to just superimpose that Sagittarius planet to this chart, and we will see that it has gone to the second place from itself. So then we will say that it has gone to the Dhanamsha, which means during that period's planet's dasha, you will get wealth. You will be able to make wealth. If a planet goes to the third place from itself, we will say that it has gone to Vikramamsha. It means during that time you will have to put in more efforts, and only after the efforts you will be able to get results. If a planet moves from fourth place to itself, we will say it has gone to Sukhamsha. You will get pleasures, you will get happiness during that time. If a planet moves from fifth place to itself, you will say it has gone to Putramamsha, which means during that time 5th house related activities will get into action. If it has gone to the 6th place from itself, we will say it has gone to the Shashtyamsha, which means 6th house related activities will come into action during that time. Now if a planet goes to the 7th place from itself, then we will say the 7th house related activities, that is Daryamsha, will get activated. Partnerships or marriage related matters or foreign travels will happen during that time. If a planet goes to 8th place from itself, we will say it has gone to the Nidhanamsha, which means 8th house related activities will come into action during this time. And if a planet goes to 9th from itself, suppose your planet is in the Lagna and it has gone to the 4th house. So here Mars is in the Scorpio sign and it has gone to the Cancer sign here. So superimposing this Mars here, we will say it has gone to the Bhagyamsha. So during this period of Mars, things related to luck or Bhagya will prosper. If a planet goes to 10th place from itself, we will say Karyamsha. things related to work or status will get activated. If a planet goes to 11th from itself, we will say Labhamsha, the person will have lots of gains during that time. If a planet goes to the 12th house from itself, we will say he will incur lots of losses during that time. So this is how you have to interpret by using the Navamsha placement of signs in the D1 chart. You just have to superimpose the planets in the D1 chart from the Navamsha and then you can study. So I will explain this technique to you with the help of an example of none other than our very honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, who is now running the tenure for the second time in India as Prime Minister. So I will go back to the history in the year 2014 when he became the Prime Minister of India for the first time with a thumping majority, with a great majority, and what were the planetary dashas that were running, and we'll see it through the Rashi Tulya Navamsha. So friends, in 2014 when he became the Prime Minister for the first time, at that time the dasha was of Moon and Rahu. So friends, first we will study about the Moon's dasha. So Moon is about Moon is sitting in his Lagna, that is, it is placed here, and here in the D9 chart the Moon is in the Virgo sign, that is in the sign number 6. So what we are going to do is we will just place this Moon here in this chart. So in the Virgo sign we will place this Moon with another pen. So we have to see two things here. First we have to see Moon to Moon placement. From Moon, this Moon is in the 3rd place, 1, 2, 3, and from this Moon is in the 11th place. So it means 311 houses are going to get activated during this dasha. So 3rd house is the Vikramamsha, that is efforts would be needed during the Mahadasha of Moon, and 11th house is Labhamsha, so the native will have gains during this time. So two things we got through the placement of Moon from here to here. Now the second thing that we have to see is, which is very important, that what results is the native going to get with respect to the Lagna. Lagna is the person himself. So with respect to Lagna, Moon is in the Lagna in him itself. So it means Moon in the Lagna is the native is going to get results related to self, own self. And from the Lagna, this Navamsha Moon is in the 11th house. It means the native will have gains, which means again it is 111 here. So or you can say 311 placement from Lagna also and from the Moon to Moon also. So the 3rd house and the 11th houses are going to get activated during the Mahadasha of Moon. Let's come to the Antardasha period of Rahu. See, Rahu is placed in his 5th house. So first of all, 5th house activities will get activated. Now here Rahu has gone to the sign of Leo. So let's just superimpose this Leo Rahu here in this Leo. So here Leo falls in the 10th house. So we'll just put Rahu here. So from this Rahu to this Navamsha Rahu, the houses are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Rahu to Rahu is again 6, 8 placement, which means 6th house will get activated. From the 6th house comes competition, rivalries, enemies, and from the 8th house comes major transitions in life, and sometimes negative things like suddenness of events also comes. So what happened was, in the Antardasha of Rahu, the 6th house means competition, so he fought elections, and the 8th house means major transitions, so he did have some major transition because he shifted from being the Gujarat's Chief Minister to becoming the Prime Minister of India. So this was a major transition for him. Now let's see with respect to Lagna, where is this Rahu placed. So with respect to the Lagna, Rahu is in the 5th house. So means for the native, 5th house is the politics. See, for him we are only going to consider politics, but otherwise from the 5th house politics also comes, entertainment industry also comes, and speculation also comes, many things comes. For this native we will take the politics as the 5th house activity, and here this Navamsha Rahu has activated the 10th house. So from the Lagna, the 10th house is also getting activated. So 10th house is status. So which means Rahu gave him status coming through politics. So 5th and 10th house were also activated, and the Rahu Dasha went well. So friends, we have to also connect this thing 6 8 thing to the 5th and 10th house. So 5 10 6 8, these all 4 houses will come into action during the Dasha of Rahu. This is what I am trying to say. So friends, once you have studied about the Antar Dasha, you can also see the Pratyantar Dasha, because Pratyantar Dasha should also be aligned in the same way. And similarly, Pratyantar Dasha will tell you about the timing of the event, that when is Mr. Modi going to become the Prime Minister, or whenever some event is going to happen. So when the 3 Dashas are aligned in the same manner, they are saying the same thing, only then the things will happen, else they will not happen, they will keep on lingering. Now let's come to the previous year, that is 2019, and he became the Prime Minister for the second time. What were the planetary positions, dashas happening at that time? Let's see that. So friends, that time he was running into the dasha of Moon Ketu. So Moon, as we have already discussed, gave him some kind of gains. Now Ketu. So Ketu to Ketu. So his Ketu is in the 11th house, and here the Ketu is placed in the 8th house in the sign of Aquarius. See, if we did not know about the Rashi Tulya Navamsha, we would have said, sorry Modi sir, your Ketu Antardasha will not be good because it has gone to the 8th house. Whereas in the actual sense, it was very good for him. So in order to avoid this kind of wrong prediction or confusion, what we will do is, we will use this Rashi Tula Navamsha technique. We'll just superimpose this Aquarius Ketu to this Aquarius placement of Ketu. So we will put this Ketu here in this Aquarius, and then we will study the chart. So from Ketu to Ketu, how many houses are they away? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they are 6, 8 from each other. From here they are 6, and from here to here they are 8 houses away. So again it is a repetition like Rahu Dasha. So it is again 6, 8 houses are activated. So some kind of fight or some kind of competition did happen in the form of elections, and 8th house getting activated. So this time it was not a transition for him. Let me tell you, this time it was not a major transition for him, but something else did come up as per the 8th house activation, which is in the form of Corona, because currently also he is running the Ketu Antardasha. And friends, Corona thing has started spreading since January itself. So he did have to go through the 8th house suddenness of events during this period. So this is how the planets are playing their role. So from Ketu to Ketu we have seen. Now let's see from the Lagna how are they going to behave. From the Lagna, this Ketu is in the 11th house. So again it is indicating some kind of wish fulfillment or some kind of gains. And from this Lagna, the Navamsha Ketu is in the 4th house. It means during this period he will have something to do with public, something to do with masses. And see, Ketu is with Jupiter also. So let's not confuse by studying Jupiter, just only we'll talk about Ketu. So from the 4th house comes the public, that is the masses. So things related to masses and gains are connected for the Lagna. So he did get a thumping majority in the previous year elections also, and again in the time of Corona he is trying to manage people, and people are being supportive towards him because Ketu is also activating the 11th house. So whatever he is desiring, people are listening to him. So 4th house and 8th house, public and wish fulfillment, they are happening together hand in hand. And 6th and 8th house are also getting activated during the Ketu's Antardasha which is still running. So friends, this is how you have to study the Mahadasha and Antardasha. Now the good news is that his Antardasha would be changing on September 2020. Couple of months to go, and at that time he will be under the Dasha of Moon and Venus. And the good thing is that his Venus is Vargotami. It is here in the Leo sign, and here also it is in the Leo. So we will put the Venus here itself. So during the Dasha of Venus, he will get excellent results of the 10th house, which is to being in the power. He will be applauded for whatever work he has done up till that time. And then Venus is going to give him excellent results of his 7th house and of his 12th house, because it is the lord of these two houses in the Rashi chart, in the Lagna chart. So from the 7th house comes the partnerships and foreign travels, and from the 12th house also comes things related to abroad. So he will have a high status related to abroad, related to foreign partnerships, and he will be applauded for his work. So it is going to be a good time for him. Friends, this is how you have to see the Rashi Tulya Navamsha. So I hope you have followed the technique, and you can apply this on numerous charts of your near and dear ones. Once you are confident enough, then you can apply it on other people's charts also. I hope friends you have gained something through this video. Please do like, subscribe and share, and please do comment if you have any doubts regarding this, and I'll be more than happy to answer your queries, and I'll come with a new video very soon. And I want to thank you all for listening.